Welcome, everybody, to Totally Whiskey and Wine. I'm your host, Jason, and with me, as always, is our intermediate, James, and our industry professional, Zach. So, today, we are going to be reviewing the 13th Colony Distillery's rye whiskey. Zach, why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, so I'm going to have James say it because he knows more about it than I do since he got it.
Sure. People have been chasing 13th Colony. 13th Colony is in Georgia. They contract distill with another company. They age all their own stuff there. It's spiral stave finished. So they add some additional oaking in the barrels through the time. I think all this one is labeled as, I believe, that 8-year age statement on it. So this is one of their first, or if not their very first, rye single barrel from this distillery. It's called Split Decision, and there was maybe 180 bottles of it or something like that. Comes in at 120 proof, and I believe we paid about $120. Cut in the line, waited. You know, it's finally the only way to get it. Fun group and nice distillery to go visit, and interesting example of their product.
All right, outstanding. So, without further ado, what did we rate this? Drum roll, please. 81. So, how did we come across that 81? Well, we rate in 4 categories: nose, mouthfeel, flavor, and finally the finish. What we do is we will blind test. Each one of us will then assign up to 25 points to each of the 4 categories to get a total of up to 100. And then we take our individual scores, add them together, and average out to get our final score. But let's talk about the individual scores and how we got those. So we're going to start with the nose. Zach, do you want to start us out?
Sure, I'll go ahead and start us out this time. This is my highest remarks for this particular bottle. I gave the nose a score of 20. Notes of peppermint bark, chocolate, and vanilla.
I'll follow you. I gave it a 20. Fall straw was kind of the first thing I got. Toasted bread. You got a little toasted bread kind of a thing out of it, like those toasters slightly burnt. You know, maybe some barrel influence or something in there. Yep.
All right. So I could not assign words to it, but now after you guys say those things, now I can, because I can get like a toasted kind of smell to it. I can get that. I can get, a little bit bread-ish. I gave it a 22 though, because I did find it pleasant and enjoyable. Which brings us next to mouthfeel.
Ooh.
Mouthfeel, I'll go ahead and hit us off. I thought it was good and strong, powerful hit right away. When it hit my palate, it was spicy, it was peppery. It gave me some good warmth and heat throughout without being, something that was going, oh God, it was good and strong without overpowering me. The one thing I didn't get it though is I didn't really feel it in the back of my throat too much. It was more mouth forward, which is fine, but I give it a 20.
Okay. So I gave it a 21. Line up with that closely. Full, good spicy mid. My mid palate. It's size tongue, middle of the roof of the mouth. Is where it all hit. It's a little empty on the back. I don't get that spice on the back of my throat, back of my tongue. Doesn't hit there. We're more commonly a rye kind of a rye product. I figure is going to hit spicier on the back. This is kind of more spicy front. So yeah, 21.
19 for me. Like you, whole bodied, but it is peppering the back of my throat quite a bit. So that's why it's getting the 19.
All right. This brings us to flavor. Take it away again, Zach, and go for flavor.
Yeah, I gave it a score of 18. Doesn't deviate too hard from the palate, except for giving you a little bit more oakiness. That's about it. 18.
All right.
I jumped in there with a 23. It hits some of my notes right. Caramely, butterscotchy, a little bit of mid, which you'd expect from a rye, some tobacco note kind of things in it too. So all of them are traditionally kind of bourbon flavors, are present in most of the bourbons that I like. So it has all those kind of common bourbon flavors.
Interesting. So I gave it a 20. Okay. I got, some spicy, some peppery, which I enjoy. I like that. That was good. Something that kind of came out and why I didn't score it higher is I'm not a fan of licorice, and to me, it was almost like there was a little bit of licorice flavor in there.
Okay.
And it didn't hit me quite right. I would have scored a little higher if it didn't have that, but that's, I think, a personal choice. Other than that, I thought it was pretty good.
All ratings are all personal stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That brings us to the finish. And James, you can start us out.
Came to 21, exactly as expected. Rye spice, lasting heat stays on kind of at the end. Not long, 20, 30 seconds after the sip. I just killed my last sip now. We're talking. I still have it on the front of my tongue, middle of my tongue. I'm really back like throat heat, DP, Kentucky hug, but rye spice heat.
And it stays.
Yeah, fair.
And that's what I got. Exact same thing. 21. I got
overly melty. It's not overly minty. It's not a real high rye. It's not overly minty, which can kind of take away from things for me sometimes. There's lots of things. It's not really green dot minty. It's got its own kind of middle spice, peppery spice rye. So.
Oh yeah.
And I went ahead and gave it an 18 on the finish. I think with the 120 proof, it drinks every bit of that, and it evaporates fairly fast, leaving you with whispers of the oak and the sweeter broad notes you get from the actual whiskey. But I think it's just going a little bit too fast for me on the more deptuous flavors that this was presenting to begin with. So
okay.
18.
So those didn't stick around for you as long as
numbing.
Yeah.
I could kind of get a little bit of numbing out.
Yeah, like the back of my throat's peppered. The front of my tongue now is just evaporated dry from all the alcohol leaving.
Oh, I'm getting a good feel on my tongue right now.
Yeah, you know you're right.
Yep. All right, so
I know it.
so that's the 13th Colony Distillery's rye whiskey. We gave it an 81, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. And whatever you're drinking, we do hope you enjoy. Cheers.
Cheers.